What do you guys think?
Definitely. Should kill him a long time ago.
If you see Hirsick, you're going to run him over? Okay.
But we're definitely gonna call his name first so he can see it coming.
You want him
You know,
to turn
well,
just in time.
exactly.
It,
So we can
literally
see that we can
in the
see the
headlights.
WTF look on his face right before he hits the
Yep.
windshield.
What kind of monster has come for me? Okay, recording is started. McGinnis is out this week, so can send him any verbal love notes right now.
Sig is an asshole.
Okay.
Agreed.
We're coming for you, Sig.
All right. So, what is our first move? We are at the ruin site. Let's see. Let me find that map for you. Here we go. Oh my god. Why is that happening? Stop it. There we
What
go.
are you doing?
Sorry. I'm not sure why that happened. But that is the unnecessarily loud. Oh, I know why. Yeah, we'll turn that off. Sorry.
Assume she felt like she had to rev the engines.
Yeah, she just wanted to rev the engines. Let's see.
You're burning charges. We really need to get some way to start actually creating our own charges.
Yeah, there was this back in Scrapball. Do you guys remember? There was like those battery packs that Eldrin was looking at, and there was some type of cables that could connect to
Yeah.
them to like recharge batteries. We need to figure out a way to like take those out of Scrapball or something.
They were like too big and bolted down kind of things.
Yeah, but maybe with some time you could like remove those and put them in the car.
Well, it's kind of what the car has.
Um,
It's got a giant capacitor in it. You know, it's, what would you say, 500 points of capacitor?
1.21.
Yeah. So that it's got the same thing, which is we need something that can actually start creating charges.
mm. Can Olbern just like shoot it with lightning?
If you had a device that could capture the lightning and translate it into electricity fairly efficiently, possibly, yeah. Like a lightning rod that stored the energy. It would need to be a pretty impressive capacitor to handle that.
Yeah, you gotta keep putting those knowledge engineering skills, maybe eventually.
Or, you know, talk to somebody in a torch when we get back.
Here we go. Normal nighttime sounds. Zuma prefers the engine roar, but these sounds are good too.
All right. So, what's the plan from here?
Go into the Dominion home, kill them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look for the android you seek. Perhaps for other Kasathans or Kasathan brains that they've taken over.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't any other plans, like a side trip back to Torch or anything.
I'd say it's just side trip back to Torch, but that's the only other thing I can think of.
And what was the point of that? To sell stuff is why you guys want to go?
I mean, there's stuff we want to get made, but I don't think we're going to wait for that long.
I mean, I don't know. With Chazapin being a pretty rough go of it, if there's some bulking up we need to do, it might be worth it.
Couldn't hear you quite at the end there, Josh. Sorry.
I said this. Yeah, this battle could be a pretty rough go. If there's some bulking up that we need to do, it might be worth the extra time.
I mean,
what do you have in mind?
I'm pretty good. It's everybody else. I mean, I work off magic. I've got good magic stuff. I don't know if there's much I need to do, but Torch we have the Great Forge and everything that comes with.
Josh, give me a knowledge planes check when you get time.
Let it go.
No, not yet. Oh, there it went. It went twice.
Alright.
Let's see. You're not sure about the floating spiky metal crab guys that shot blaster pistols at you, but the greater Dominion critters, the Netalgu, they have long-range mental communication. It's very likely Dominion knows that you all were at the meat pile and that you killed 3 of them. 4 of them.
So maybe if we give them more time, it might be bad. They have more time to prepare against us.
I mean, there's kind of 2 sides to that coin. I mean, if we wait long enough, and if they're not the patient kind of things, we could outwait them, and then they lower their guard again. But obviously, Oberyn's the only one who would know any idea of how long that kind of thing might be. Well, no, excuse me, and sorry, Azuma might as well. But again, like you said, though, if we wait, if they're the kinds of people who or things that will wait a long time, or we don't wait long enough, then yeah, they'll just be more prepared for us.
Suma says that all she knows is that they're highly intelligent. There doesn't seem to be any limit to how far away they can communicate.
Yeah, it's just a matter of how patient they are.
Well, we also got to drop these corpses off for Binox too.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. I don't like the idea of trading with the robot, but if the deal's a deal, and maybe we can at least get him to turn off that tracking device in Tokala.
That'd be helpful.
Plus, those things are going to start to smell soon.
Oh, they already do. They smell like rotten crab meat.
They smell worse. So, with the carriage, it wouldn't take as long to get there. So we might as well go ahead and get that done and over with, right?
I think so.
We don't want them tracking us for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're doing normal watches?
Of course.
Yep.
Okay. First watch. Give me perception checks.
Guinness Ultra? Right?
Uh-huh. Your second watch, Josh, with Namka.
Yeah. Okay, thought so.
So you'll have to roll McGinnis.
Oh, right. I'm just not thinking. 29. You both noticed that, I mean, you've camped here, I think, once before. The wildlife is kind of creeping back in. When the ghost was here, they're like squirrels and chipmunks stayed away. Like any wildlife avoided this place. It was really uncanny how quiet it was. Now you're getting crickets, you're getting owls, you're getting normal forest at night sounds that you did not get before.
The little beasties are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Very merry.
But first watch passes quietly. That's just what you notice. You wake up Nomkath and Olbryn for second watch. And they have pretty much the same experience. You guys can roll perceptions also. So 1 by Olbryn. You are not paying that great of attention, but Nomcath, you can definitely feel the difference. The presence of the ghost being gone was a major thing that happened the moment it died. You felt better about the area, felt less on edge, and now it feels almost like a normal part of the forest again.
Yeah, it's still the rumors of it will keep it quiet for a while.
So Kala suggests you name the vehicle the Patty Wagon, like meat patty.
Oh, I just realized. So was this the thing under all the tentacles that we saw?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
They convinced the ship mine to poop it out in a direction they could retrieve it from. And it sank to the bottom of the lake, and they blew a bunch of spells and roided themselves up, enlarged to 10 feet tall. Discovered that the party has easily 400 foot of rope between them. So that's fun.
And the dwarf can lift almost a full ton by himself.
And the dwarf can easily pull a freight train down the road, no problem. Under enlarged person. Pretty impressive. The other thing they learned was that Asuma can drive it pretty expertly. She's a little rusty, definitely. She had some bad rolls, bad luck on the way driving here, but she's very familiar with the vehicle.
She's gonna have to teach us how to drive it eventually.
You will have to take points in riding, but you can do the borrow a rank trick now if you wish.
Or we can just let McGinnis drive it since he's already got plenty in riding.
He does, and if the requirement is that you have both a rank of knowledge engineering, and then you may use your ride skill to pilot the vehicle.
Which I believe he has at least a few ranks in
He does.
knowledge engineering.
He does. Gives McGinnis about an 11 ride skill. He's almost as good as Azuma is. Okay, second watch wakes up. Third watch. Krokta and Tokala are woken up by Nomcath and Olbrin.
Would you rest me, Tony?
Oh, right. Resting Olbrin. It is done. You have a metric fuck ton of spells again.
Am I back to my normal self? Did you switch me back around?
Say again?
Did you switch me back to my normal self, not the monster physique self?
Correct. All your buffs are off. Except Super Blast, because I know you guys are going to cast it. So can't imagine a day when the party doesn't cast Super Blast.
Super fast.
Hashtag Super Blast.
So, Krokta's been keeping an eye out kind of passively while we've been adventuring around, keeping track of where this brain in the jar would be.
Yeah.
So I'm not, me as a player though, I'm not really sure where it is right now.
Oh, it's in Tokala's backpack.
Okay. So, Tokala, is the brain like out in the open, seeable, or stowed away?
It's put away right now, but do you want to see it?
Oh
Maybe
no,
we can
so
do
I
that
wouldn't actually.
screaming thing again.
You
No,
wanna
so
play with it?
I was not asking in character. Krokta would not have asked you. I'm just wondering if I can actually see it or if it would be hidden.
You know, it's got a glass outside. He's probably got it wrapped up and tucked away.
Okay, but it was pretty huge, right? So I could probably see like the shape of it.
Oh, yeah. That's why I say you know it's in his backpack, because you can see a
Okay.
large cylindrical object.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm just gonna. And Toby, I think we established it has like some magical properties, right?
It radiates. Magic was used in its construction, and the brain itself. You guys have had it long enough. You can actually tell the brain radiates magic rather intensely. It is the brain of a spellcaster.
Okay. So Kala, I'm feeling a bit restless here after all that stuff with the Dominion. I think I'm gonna just fly around for a bit, but I'll keep watch. I'll just watch from above.
All right, just keep an eye out. I can't see for shit.
Oh, you can't. Oh, your perception was back.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh.
not great.
Excellent.
How many
Okay.
ranks has Takala bought, Tracy?
None, I think.
That's right.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I'm a I'm a wisdom class with no ranks in perception.
I'll find it when it
Nice.
punches me in the face.
Yeah.
I'll know it when it hits me. That's his whole philosophy.
So, yeah, Crocta's gonna take off and fly above as maybe an owl, night vision. And once she gets far enough away, she'll target the brain in a jar and cast this. Well, tell me, Toby, if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
I remembered thinking it was magical, so first I was going to try to cast Dispel Magic on it. Which I could do from pretty high up in the air.
Okay.
So I'm hoping Tokala does not hear me cast it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it works, but
Let's see your spell pen check. It's a caster level check. Do me a caster level check.
I've got other magical crap in my backpack too, so
Yeah, and you
Oh,
don't have you
shit.
don't have line of sight to it. So,
okay.
but let's go ahead
so
and do
would
the.
I know then? Okay. Well, if I know that, I'm not gonna try to like fuck up the rest of his items. So I would assume
Well,
I
you
would know. As
dispel magic only
Okay.
temporarily disables a magic item anyway,
Okay.
so you wouldn't be permanently breaking anything, including the brain, unless it's like super minor magic aura as part of what keeps it alive. If you disable that, you could kill it.
Alright.
If it
Okay,
works
but I
that way,
need-
you're not sure actually.
Okay, but for any spell, I need line of sight to affect the item, probably.
To be sure
Okay.
you're getting it, yeah. Otherwise, you're like doing a tiny AoE dispel magic on Takala's backpack, and you could hit a number of things. For example,
Alright,
he's
well, then-
wrapped it in something. He may have wrapped it in. Where is it? He had some wacky armor. Well, I don't think there's too many magic items in your bag. You're just not sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. Though.
Oh, you would know this. You could ruin his potions.
I also have a wand of infernal healing. 3 of them.
No, yeah, that's too much. All right, I won't just blanket start attacking your backpack. Because I was gonna just start attacking. All right, so if that's the case, then I will still fly away like that. Fly around the sky, think for a little bit to myself. Come down though, and ask Tokala. Tokala, did you hear anything strange? I don't know, maybe I'm just on edge, but I thought I heard something coming from over there on the edge.
He listens, see if he hears anything.
I mean, I'm bluffing, so you can see if you believe
Ooh.
me.
Go ahead and roll a sense motive,
Probably
Takala.
not.
The worst liar and the worst lie detector in the party square off.
And I win.
Yep. Crocta's acting weird. You
I
don't
don't
think?
hear anything.
Okay. Well,
Are you trying to eat my rations? You can't have any.
no, of course not. It's nothing. I just have a lot of things on my mind.
Oh, did you want some of my soothe?
Yeah, actually, I could try that. And she's gonna keep her eyes open. Like, if he does open his backpack to give soothe and she does see the brain get line of sight for a second, then she
Mhm.
will cast a spell at that second. but maybe not. What level was that? Sorry. Yeah, restore that one. It's a spell. Is a.
Nomcath says that Nomcath doesn't even wake up, but he lifts a hand, points at Krokta, and shakes a finger.
Well, I'm figuring. I mean, actually, my my sense motive is okay. Okay, actually, no, I could have. I'm only at +4. I thought it was higher than that. So yeah, I thought I was higher than that. I was like, I couldn't even feel that in my sleep kind of roll, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just if he reveals the brain while he's getting soothed for me, so I would say definitely I would take soothe, and then if so, I would attack the brain, but I think I'm just gonna go immediately with since I only get like one attack, I'm gonna try to control water on it instead of the spell magic.
Okay.
Try to just like evaporate the water inside the brain tube.
So, I actually keep the soothe very near the top.
Ah!
I mean, obviously, right? It needs to be at hand.
It's on one of the outside pouches.
Yeah, it is literally always ready.
Because if you
Damn
put
it.
it even in the top, if you put it in the main pouch, it's small enough it would shift down to the bottom.
Right. So it's in one of the little pockets.
Oh shit, Asuma's awake? I forgot she never sleeps.
She never, ever sleeps.
Ugh.
You remember she's there, and you see her just very quietly sitting in her usual position. Her eyes are open, tiny little slits, but you can see she's watching you.
Did you
So,
want
I don't-
this? He's holding out a little vial of soothe.
Sure, thanks. And she'll just peck at it with like her little bird beak, eat a little bit of soothe,
Ooh,
and then just kind of.
eat it. I don't know if Takara's ever
I-
tried eating it.
I don't think that's. I don't know if you're supposed to eat it. Well, let's see what happens.
Make a fort save. Takala, you spending a application of soothe on this little evening
Uh huh.
adventure? Okay, would you click it for me so we can see the...
Yeah. Here we go.
All right.
It's a pretty good fort save, gotta say.
It really is. 33 is monstrous. Let's see.
Yeah, but you're also a tiny bird, so.
You are a tiny,
Bird with an amazing fortitude.
tiny bird. Yeah, it feels... I mean, there's a reason it's called soothe. It actually feels kind of good, and you don't actually have an injury, so it can't scar. But you generally just feel a pretty strong buzz due to your small size. You feel in command of it. Okay, Tracy. So does heroin. Good.
There is a damaging effect from soothe that I think it damages wisdom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think so. How much is it?
Just trying to read through it.
Another reason it's insane that he likes to use this.
Yeah, I'm a wisdom character.
Heals you of 1d8. You become immune to bleeding. You get +2 on fear saves. Wounds tend to form raw, unsightly scars, giving the appearance of the wound still being fresh, but disturbingly bloodless. It is also slightly addictive.
I don't see wisdom in there, but I remembered that too.
I remember it too. I'll look. Pathfinder attack. I think it's just not in that description for some reason.
So as I feel soothed a bit, I'll just tell Takala, thanks, that helped. Honestly, I'll just tell you, Takala, that brain you have in your jar, though, just while you're getting the soother, reminded me of it. And I just hate lugging that thing around. I still don't feel it's right, but I guess this isn't my tribe.
Well, I'll tell you as soon as we're done with it, you can crack it open and eat it.
Then I'll gain all of its memories. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know, you eat shit, so I don't know what your people eat.
Yeah, true. generally only eat each other and shit, but and regular food. Okay, well, that's it. Crocta will kind of chill out after that. It wasn't meant to be, but hopefully Takala's not on to her that she was trying to attack the brain while he wasn't paying attention.
Oh yeah. It
I don't
does
know.
one-
Asuma might be.
Here you go. Does 1d2 wisdom damage.
Ouch, that sucks.
Enjoy. Takala will begin reading Beowulf to Crocta
Oh,
during their
God.
watch.
Interesting. So where did you get this story, Takala? Is this one of your people's?
No, I found this book. It's pretty good though.
Yeah. Especially like the part where he rips off the arm.
Yeah. I mean, I would have done it better, but it's all right.
Yeah, mighty hero, for sure.
The swimming though, impressive.
Yeah, I would just turn into a fish, but I guess for someone else, that is an impressive feat.
There we go. Now it puts the wisdom damage in when you roll it.
Ah, nice. Alright, that's it. I'm not gonna mess with it more tonight.
Morning comes and everyone is rested.
Takala will make coffee for everyone for the morning.
Does he have a coffee pot?
I have literally been carrying a coffee pot for for a very,
Oh.
very long
I
time.
I thought Scathe had it for some reason.
Yeah, it was skates.
It was, and then I took it from them when they left.
Oh, nice.
Literally since Skate, I've been carrying around coffee and a coffee pot.
Huh. Well, we'll call that a survival check for you to boil the water and pour it over the coffee that you grind up by probably smashing it with the butt of your chainsaw.
I watched Skate do it once.
Yeah, he had a really specific method. He was a real snob about it. Hey, you made a decent cup of coffee here.
We all deserve this after the meat pile.
Yeah, that was not exactly my idea of a good time, but I mean, we got some interesting stuff out of it.
We got the brine mobile.
Is that what we're calling it?
I'm calling it mumble mumble.
We really ought to come up with a name for it.
The electric horse.
There's not really horses involved.
I refuse to ride in it. So,
It's
you guys
freaking
make a
fast.
mistake.
All right,
Sounds so beautiful, though.
We could call it the Butcher because it came out of a giant meat pile.
Huh.
That's actually not bad.
Tube steak.
Anyways, let's get this thing with Binox done so we can scratch that off our list.
Okay. So we're going to head east.
Yep.
All right. Oh, that's what I'm going to put this here. So we remember that's where that is. Okay. So party is here. And we're going to cross the river, which will be a... Let's see, I want to make sure that Crocodile has to listen to this the whole time we do this. And you guys get a good running start down the hill, ripping through the grass and snapping over small trees, leaving a big swath through the forest, and slam into the river. She looks for a spot to kind of ramp it up and try and jump over part of the river. We'll see how she does today. She did not do well at this last time. Well, she does much better today. It's
How
cross.
fast does this thing go, by the way?
What's that?
Sorry. How fast does it go?
In this terrain, it is still limited to 50% movement modifier, but its like base move is 100. So it's 10 times faster than any of you over flat terrain. It's very quick.
I'm gonna fly, like using wind walk. Just kind of follow them, but not actually ride in the car.
Well,
it's a
your
6-level spell, but
yeah, your flight, since you don't have to like this thing is so slowed down by
okay.
you know,
So I can
twists
fly
and
right
turns, hills, and crawling over stuff. Sometimes it just gets stuck. And I mean, if you had a way to communicate with them, you could actually tell them, "Hey, don't drive up into that valley. It's a dead end. You should go to the south. You can steer them, just like you would when they're on foot."
So I have it's one of my domain spells is Whispering Wind.
Oh yeah.
That's like a mile away. Yeah, I mean, if I do see something like that that's going the wrong way, I would tell them. Send a message to Asuma with Whispering Wind.
Okay.
Further.
Yeah, you guys can get most of the way to Binox today if you wish. And then just camp in the woods once. Or you can push on and reach Binox like at the middle of the night. This thing has pretty powerful light, so you can drive it at night.
Yeah, I don't think dealing with him on and not being well rested is a good idea.
Okay, so we're going to camp.
Yeah.
Are we going to rope trick or camp in the forest?
Well, I mean, this area was pretty safe, so I think camping in the forest is fine.
That's fine.
Definitely
like being
we're
inside.
moving fast enough that even if the Dominions are trying to send somebody after us, we're probably outrunning them.
Okay. All right. Normal watches. Yep. And McKinnon's perception. Okay. Nothing happens on first watch. Second watch, roll perceptions for me. Okay. Nothing happens on second watch and third watch. Roll perceptions for me. Okay.
I'd also, again, just kind of look over, see how Takala's backpack is displayed tonight.
He has it in the, the usual way, as far as I know, unless Takala wants to take extra precautions for it.
No, I mean he doesn't think there's any danger to it.
I mean, she might be wanting to eat all your soothe.
So just normal,
She's had a taste.
just like the previous night.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? On the soothe thing, did you roll for addiction?
Oh yeah.
Don't think I did. I did a fortitude save. Is that not the addiction one?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's been a while. Like Takala just basically decided that he's addicted, so we never rolled it.
No, I'm not addicted. I can quit anytime I want.
I can quit anytime I want. Yeah, it's a fort save. Whenever you take ability damage, make a fort save to resist becoming addicted. So Crocodile's okay so far. Ability score heals 1 point per day. If you have it again while you're already on it, it gets a little more difficult, looks like. Which is why Tagala only uses it sparingly. Special occasions.
No, it's because I can't find anyone to make more.
So I fly up in the sky again as a bird. Then I land somewhere I think is out of Takala's vision. Then I wild shape again into like a mouse. And I'm gonna try to stealth my way into his backpack as a mouse.
Wow.
I don't know if I get a bonus to that for being tiny.
Did you shift your size on your character? It would have factored in, but yes, you do.
Yeah, I didn't actually put any buffs on my character.
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see. Stealth bonus by size.
I know it's like goblins get like a +8. No, it's +4 for size. So
What size did you go to? Tiny or small? Tiny?
Whatever a mouse would be, I would think that's tiny.
+8.
On a natural 20, I couldn't beat 30.
You have a 38. Yeah. You watch Izuma watching you crawl into the backpack.
Oh man.
She doesn't stop you,
So,
and she doesn't
oh,
alert
she did
him.
get a 40. I see that. Yeah. Damn.
Yep.
Suma. Perceptive.
She doesn't sleep, and
Okay.
she's very perceptive. But she doesn't stop you. She does say in Kasath under her breath as she sort of pokes the fire, not looking at you, she says the Binoxians are watching us.
Oh. Meaning like the people that attacked us previously.
Again, still in
That's
Kasath.
right, lover.
In Kasath, she says there is one of Binox's female robots about 50 feet away.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything again because I'm gonna assume I used Whispering Wind to tell her that thing before, so that Takala didn't hear me talking.
Okay.
And I'm still gonna go in the backpack.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the control water again, which I assume, even though I'm a mouse, I still speak loudly when I cast a spell, right?
Yeah, but
If I am quiet, then I would dispel first and then do control water. But
Well,
if I'm not quiet,
but you still get the size, like your tiny little voice. So you still are 8 points more difficult to perceive.
okay. Well, then first I'll try to dispel magic on it from within this backpack.
Okay. And roll me a caster check. Caster level check.
All right. Where's that? Is that just like a wisdom check, or?
No, it should be under your, what is it? Under your druid button.
Oh, I see it. Thanks.
Okay. You feel resisted by whatever enchanted it, but you're also now certain that there is no active spell on it. Magic was used to forge the metal and forge the container, so it radiates magic a little bit, but it's really technological. So dispel magic will not kill it.
then I will control water to evaporate the water from inside of it.
Hmm. Water in the area to swiftly evaporate or sink into the ground below, lowering the water's depth. I think this will totally work if you open the container first.
Okay, then first I will do this.
Actually, if he raises the water level, then he can maybe just get it to burst or crush the brain.
It's sealed off from him with a magic jar, essentially.
Ah,
So he's
so
not going to
he's gonna
affect the
affect-
water in there
Okay.
until he can, he needs line of sight to the water molecules, basically.
Okay, so if I can I try to warp it instead with warp metal to break the cage?
Sure.
Okay, I just cast that.
Okay. Metal. So you rip off the metal casing around it, and you bend. You can see that you've broken off the support metal around the sides, and now you could tear open the top.
And would that
you telling
cause
me I
stuff to
don't-
fall out of it?
I don't hear a talking mouse in my backpack right now.
Well, you should roll
Bending
perception.
metal.
Because he,
So
dispel magic is verbal,
Yep.
control water
No, you're
is
right.
verbal.
No, you're right. Give yourself a perception check for each spell. To hear someone talking next to you is like, okay, you hear him between the dispel magic and the warp metal. You hear beep, 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 beep.
Okay,
There's
so I didn't
mouse
get
in
to the
there.
warp metal stage.
You were about to cast warp metal when you hear a giant. Fee-fi-fo fum. I hear a mouse in my
feel-
backpack.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna start smashing my backpack.
Oh no.
What about your potions?
He hates
They may
mice.
not. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I should click unarmed attack.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that hits. I
You're
think
gonna
I
take
probably have a small bonus to AC. But
You do, but you're also in a backpack. You can't avoid the attack very well. And he's
Okay.
just smashing everywhere. So you do take some bludgeoning damage. You can go ahead and take 8. As he starts pummeling the backpack.
all right, well, yeah, I'll try to scamper away, and not willing to give away that's me. I'll just try to run off into the bushes.
Okay.
How loud are you being, Takala? Is he just kind of under the breath, stupid mouse and pump?
Yeah,
punching
he's like
it?
he's like swatting at the bag. Yeah,
Okay, so
like you
not,
do.
Not like a what the fuck's going on here that it
I'm-
might wake somebody up.
I'm sure this isn't the first time he's found some kind of critter in his bag.
Yeah.
We sleep outside like every night, so
It's true. I'm just using he's the snake icon, but he's actually a mouse. Okay, so Tokala, let's see, what kind of check are we going to do for this? Roll me a stealth, Kroktaw.
And this will have the bonus baked in because you turned me into the snake.
Well, I'm basically going to take your size bonus away because you get +8 from size, but he knows you're in there and you're in a very tight area. So he's dumping it out and looking specifically for you. So you're going to have to beat, I think you probably beat him straight up just because he has terrible perception. Yeah. Takala, you're looking hard and all your stuff tumbles out on the ground and you see the mouse once or twice scampering back and forth between objects as they tumble out onto the forest floor and you lose it in the underbrush.
Assuming you're just gonna let it get away.
She has clearly been watching the entire thing, and she has one arm on her rifle, but she's leaning on it. Makes it look like she's leaning on it for comfort. And her other hand is just kind of thoughtlessly poking the fire, and she looks away from you and says,
So from the other side of the campfire, eventually Croctail will walk out, walk over and be like, to come back and sit down like normal.
I could have used your help. Little damn mouse was in my bag. You talked to those things, right?
You sure it wasn't a chipmunk?
No,
Chipmunk assassin.
but you did anger them, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're after me for associating with you.
Yeah, they can be quite aggressive. Wouldn't surprise me either. I'll also do a bluff on that in case you want to see if you can tell that I'm just like being weird.
I never think to roll sense motive, but sure.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's a 20 for Asuma, who already knew what was going on, and a natural 20 for Tokala. Total of 24. Yeah. Tokala,
You definitely know I'm not.
you're
believing
putting
in
it together. You
He
haven't
wants your soothe.
you haven't seen the well, that could be the conclusion he draws. Either way,
That's-
you're starting to suspect that mouse was Croctaw.
Wait a minute, I don't think it was a chipmunk at all.
You notice she has just the tiniest bruise on the side of her head.
Are you trying to get
Okay.
at this? And he holds up the brain and shakes it a bit.
With the
Oh,
mid-
God.
now the twisted metal missing parts.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get to do that.
Oh no,
yet.
that was before.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Tokala heard him before he got to pull the metal apart.
I got lucky.
No, not that. I don't want to admit, but it's the soothe.
Oh, you're not buying
I was
that.
hoping to get more of the soothe.
Yeah, that doesn't wash.
Listen, you've been talking to me about this thing for days. What is your problem?
I just don't like it. It's why are we keeping A? It's cruel. This thing should be dead, just like the ship. We let the ship die. This thing, you press a button and it moans in horror. No, you have it captive, like a slave. Oh, you press a button while I'm talking.
Yes.
And you're telling me
Croctaw,
that
he
it's not.
fucking holds it up to his chest, and while maintaining eye contact with you, he pushes every button on the top of it until he hits the one that makes it scream. Just keep staring into your eyes.
Exactly. Do you not hear that? That thing is in pain, suffering, just
It's
like the ship.
fine. I talked to it.
Yes, everyone else can roll a perception, and if you roll above a 5, you are awake.
Tokala, quit messing with your toy. We're trying to sleep.
We have a little issue with Croctaw.
There's a chipmunk. You know the chipmunk issues.
Olbrin, you're definitely awake too, 26. You are startled awake by the scream. You assume you and Nomcat both kind of just about spring to your feet, ready to fight. Guinness does too.
It's nothing, guys. Just go back to sleep. I don't know why Tokala pressed the button. We were just talking about the brain.
Because
You know how I like to talk about the brain.
he presses the button because he hates the Technic League and enjoys any suffering he can cause upon them. We understand.
Toby, roll sense motive for me. Do I have sense motive?
Sure. I mean, everybody can roll it. You have a total of 12. Which
Is
is
that
actually
against
enough.
me?
Yeah, Croctaw's rolled some pretty poor bluff checks.
Is that factoring in my negative?
You have a negative?
I think I took a what's the opposite of a trait? Handicap or a,
Oh.
Oh yeah, it says roll twice, take the lower result.
yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
thank you.
It does say that. Good job, Foundry. Yeah, 12 is the lower result. So,
And I'm
even
half asleep.
even you can tell.
I'm half asleep because you disturbed my cat nap.
So what nefariousness is going on currently?
Nothing nefarious. I just talking to Tokala here about the brain. We had the conversation before.
He
over, and you
seems
remember.
slightly agitated. What did you put? What button did you push now?
He pushed the button.
He got into my bag, and he was trying to take my brain. And after
trying to
I
take
shared
your-
my soothe,
I'm not just that's just an insult. We all know how much you enjoy your soothe.
I was trying to make connections with Croctaw, trying to bridge the gap between his weird alien bullshit and me. And this is how he repays me. I wish I could push the button again.
You can, it just won't scream.
Yeah.
Look, while everyone's here, I'm just pointing out to Takala. Yes, was I in the bag? Yes. Was I a mouse? Yeah, I was. But we just put that airship out of its misery, and now we still lug around in Tokala's backpack a creature suffering just as much, if not more, than that airship.
Well,
I don't understand the moral compass of this party. I know tactical
Well,
advantage, all that.
moral
but
compass or not, the first thing you could have done is have a conversation like an adult.
I did. I talked to you last week.
Not
I talked
after the
to-
ship. Before, not after the ship. We've learned a lot more since we've heard things. So the first thing you could do is have a conversation like a responsible part of the party, instead of stealing into someone's bag and trying to break shit.
I've tried to talk. I understand you, Over, but I've tried to talk to the party about this numerous times, and honestly, I've
Not
gotten the
since
sense
the
that-
ship. We've learned much more. I was actually going to bring this up because I'm wondering myself even more now. If the ship didn't think that we could learn things from humans, maybe we can't. But this deserves a conversation, not just stealing each other's equipment and breaking it willy-nilly.
I guess I underestimated you a bit. I thought you had made up your mind. So, great. Let's have the conversation. Let's turn off Kill This Brain.
I mean, my thought still is, we're not, okay. I'm not speaking for Tokala here, I'm speaking just for myself. I'm not doing this to torture the person. He's got information that may prove useful, and that's my thought about it, and I have an intention, within the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or at most, to disconnect the battery and let it die. I'm not intending to intentionally drag out the suffering like the ship did for personal enjoyment.
I mean, I was going to make you stick to the 7 bluff check anyway, Croctaw, but you just keep rolling lower. Now
Yeah,
you
so-
are stuck at 6.
So I typed in the chat, Oberon, too, that like I'm totally just trying to change the subject to talk about the brain now instead of like addressing the fact that I was sneaking around. Because yeah, totally right. But yeah, I'm just trying to be like, oh yeah, okay, let's talk about the
Gotcha.
brain. So,
First things
Yeah, I
first,
think we should-
apologize to Takala.
That's
sorry,
painful.
Tokala. Here, let me hug you with my 4 arms. I've seen you and Namkath do this. This comforts you, no?
Alright. And Tokala opens up his arms like he's going to go in for a hug, but he's going to swing.
Oh my
I don't know
god.
what
I got a sense
guess
motive,
bluff?
Oh,
right?
that's a sense
Yeah.
motive for Croctaw, yes. Takala bluff.
Nice.
We are just
Oh,
gonna.
I see it. Okay, so I can dodge it, right? If I see it
Yeah,
coming, or just
he's-
not. I just won't
he's-
walk towards them.
His body language says that he's winding up a mega punch.
I don't. You guys see that? I'm not. I see. I'm trying to help. They're trying to apologize. Now, Kathy wants to punch me. I guess. I mean, I understand. Look, oftentimes when a leader goes above the head of his tribe to do the right thing, the tribe might get unhappy. That is a role I accept. As you know, it's a tough decision, but I made
You're
it.
declaring
Overnight-
yourself our leader?
Yeah, I
No,
don't
no.
think you're our leader.
She has been for a while.
Oberon, I consider you, me, Ulfred, a committee of leaders.
Just
But-
those 3, huh?
Well,
You're doing a real
Yeah.
good job of pissing off the whole party here, bud. You want to keep digging? You want me to give you a bigger shovel? We've got a shovel. You want it?
it might. Honestly, ever since I took that soothe, I feel a little dumb today. So
Well, you were a little dumb to take it, yes.
that's another bluff. Oh, Hopefully that one. works.
Unfortunately, after this many failed checks, the party is pretty
Okay.
wise to your shenanigans.
No worries.
You're supposed to.
Look, I'd like to get back to sleep, so let's make this quick and orderly. Alfred, or excuse me, Ulvrin, kill the brain or leave the brain for now for more information, with the understanding it's a temporary thing with intent to put it out of its misery within a reasonably short period of time by non-elven standards.
Still, question lingers for me is that if we can learn anything from it. I'm wondering if we could have learned anything from its brains if the ship wouldn't have told us how to or what to look for.
You can learn.
Hold
what
your
you need
peace for a
from-
moment, please, Crocta.
Hmm.
You don't have to talk to him.
Crocta's pissed.
Takala says, where I'm from, we cut off the hands of thieves.
Well, he's got 3 to spare.
Yeah, you can just cut off one. I don't really need it.
Which
It'd
is
be
your
pretty
favorite?
awesome. She holds
Alright.
up the bottom left one.
Go on top right. That no.
All right, so Oberon, you're kind of in middle ground right now. You're not sure.
I think that we need to beg the question of if the ship gave us so much and was willing to and talk freely as it could, and we could ask about these beings and etc. Would the ship have not alerted us to something we could have gained from the brains that were already there? This is just the first one of many we've seen come across, so I think it's worth examining, and we could learn anything from it at this point. I'm not saying we can't, but I'm saying that's the question at this point.
Yeah, it is hostile. He is hostile. Trying to get information from him isn't easy, but I think the possibility is there. That's why I'm saying it's worth taking the time to try.
How long do you guys plan to wait on this? Because every day this thing moans out in misery, very clearly suffering, while you wait to get your tactical advantage.
Technically, it only moans in misery when he pushes the button.
Well, I assume Takala pushes it daily.
So
Give him
far,
that.
yes, every day.
Again,
Usually in private.
just wash your hands afterwards, man.
Wow.
just like writing. Do it in private. Wash your hands afterwards, right? What was it? Edgar Allan Poe that said that, or somebody?
Was the brain jar?
That sounds like a bow
sticky?
quote.
All right, so that's that.
All right, you still think there's something that came from it? Do you think you can still work with it in VR?
Yes, but like I said, in my head, my goal is next couple of weeks to a month maximum. Alfred, what's your thought?
He continues snoring as he didn't roll perception.
Astuma, what about you? What do you think? And then in Kassath, I'll say, back me up. Come on, we're both Kassath.
She says, I agree with all of you.
And then in Kassath, I'll say, like, Master Kassath in response.
She says, I agree with Crocta that I would not wish that fate on any creature, and we should destroy it and set that creature free, the same as we did the ship. I agree with you all that if that person that's in there has information and we can get them to converse with us and give us that information, we should do that.
If it's anything
Maybe by
else,
next
just to add on to the weighted side of things, we know the guy in here was a bastard and probably evil. So, I'm not saying that I'm playing judge and think he deserves to be in his own personal hell here, but it's not the same as the ship who was innocent and a slave.
My former captors thought I was just a primitive idiot that was not as high as them either. Felt no sorrow for keeping me in a cage. So I have to say you are being judge and jury, whether you like it or not. But I understand the group does not agree, so I will let it be. She's gonna take off into the dark.
Izuma says, as Krokta walks off, she says in common to the others, she says, Krokta and I, through very different timelines, she says. She thinks of the word. We're both enslaved. Krokta didn't even know she was enslaved and living in an aquarium. I did, and I thought that I had willingly joined up, but I hadn't. And we both had about the same agency. So, given our culture places the most importance, we're a nomadic culture, we're a free culture. It is just almost a sin to tell someone to stay somewhere or where they must go to the Kasath. That's the rudest thing you could ever do, is tell someone they must stay somewhere or chain them or lock them up. So it's deeply offensive to us. I have been tortured at the hands of the Dominion, and I will break any rule that's ever been made to destroy them. Nothing is more important than me. Not my culture, not my principles, nothing.
Amen.
And I hear some of you speak with that level of venom about the group that this brain belongs to. When he was a man, he was in the Technic League, and they have hurt you. So I understand your desire for revenge, even if I don't share it because I have no experience with them.
Well, my family is a bunch of travelers too, so I get the nomad culture. And I understand the reluctance, and I know druids and nature priestesses and such are all about freedom and protecting and all that sort of stuff, but you know, Numeria is a hard scramble kind of place, and you got to learn to be a little practical too. So that's what I'm just being here, is practical.
As am I, and I see ourselves at a serious disadvantage at this point against this league that we don't know a whole lot about. All information we can gather is a step forward and a heads up for us. And I hate that we have to put this being through it, whether he was a horrible person or not. That's not the point. It's our own survival and the survival of those we care about, those who come after us. Let's not paint the picture too graciously. If the Technic League continues, they're going to continue to do what they do and run over whoever they can. I don't foresee that as an outcome any of us know.
I'm happy he suffers. I feel nothing for him. He got what he deserved. And if I thought that I could convince these alien jackwads to join my side and fight the Technic League, I would recruit them.
Izuma says you'll have to be more specific about alien jackwads.
Oh, you know, the weird
The
crab
Dominion.
ones. The
He's talking about
Dominion,
the Dominion.
yes.
She shakes her head.
I know. They can't be reasoned with.
Torkala, I'm going to say this as your friend. I understand why you say that. I'm still a little disappointed in you for believing that way. But I understand. And I'm just saying that as a friend, you know?
I know we don't always agree on things. It's alright, Nomcath.
And I look over in the direction that Krokta went and shout out, "See, this is how friends work shit out."
I will add that Suma did tell me there's like a Binox person out here watching us, so I would hopefully be on the lookout
Captured.
for that while I'm out here in the darkness.
All right, I guess we'll go back to sleep.
What do you do when it's time to get the
Going back to sleep then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I see the Binox person anywhere while I'm out? No.
No, but Isuma signals in Drow sign language that there is a the Drow have a sign for golem, constructed being. So Isuma signals that there is a construct nearby. Watching so far peacefully.
I've probably already got my 2 hours in, right, Toby?
Yeah, we're on into third watch, so yes, you're awake. You can just stay up.
I'll acknowledge Isuma and I'll just lie there looking like I'm asleep, but not asleep.
Okay. We can do a bluff check for you. Probably BLU is the macro. Or not. Maybe I don't have one. Let me check.
Maybe not. I don't. That's not a classical thing.
I do. Why the hell didn't it roll? Alright, well, I'll work on that. In the meantime, I'll just click it. Let's see. 28. Very convincing, sleepy man. Anything else for the rest of that watch, gang?
Negative.
Okay. Oh, it's BLF. I'm fixing the macro. It's BLF, Josh. Okay, now BLF will work.
Okay.
In the future. For all your future lying endeavors. Liar.
We really need to get on page with all these freaking things. Some of them are.
Nope. Let's just leave it to the forces of chaos.
Okay.
Fuck you.
You know, you could jot them down on a piece
No.
of paper next to you and
No,
read
no.
them.
No,
We've tried that. They
No.
evolve.
I don't like to tell him what his macros are. I like him to just smash his face on the keyboard and see what comes out. Just leave it to chance. Have some spice in our lives. Okay. So the morning comes, I think. If there's no more incredible moral debates, that was really great. There were some twists and turns. My
Really
expectations
didn't
were
think he
subverted. What's that?
Gonna hear me. Really didn't think he was gonna hear me as a little mouse.
I mean,
And I was like,
statistically
perfect
unlikely,
plan.
but you know, casting spells in his bag. Okay. Now I need to find Binox's lair.
It is up here. Or are you talking about trying to
The-
find the
Yeah,
map?
the map.
Okay.
So of course this is Suma's home. She stops by to check on her stuff, which is untouched, thankfully. Yeah. And she says maybe, well, just be ready. He'll probably honor his deal, but
I got an idea. Let's leave the corpses out here first and just bring the claws proof. That way, if he does try to do anything stupid, it's like we're not trying to drag all these bodies through here and we're encumbered.
Okay. I put the vehicle outside.
Yeah.
So you want to.
The one claw we cut off,
Okay.
we'll bring that in as proof that we have it. Not to mention the spy has probably seen it, but at least this way we can see. Okay, are you going to abide by the deal?
It looks
before
like
we
we
go through all
forgot
this?
the claw.
We can assume we've got it. I mean, because it was a separate piece.
I see that it's still in the container back in the meat pile. All right. I'll let you guys bring the claw. Okay. So you're going to enter into here with the claw.
Mm-hmm. Just to make sure that he's not going to try and double cross us from the beginning.
Okay.
Toby.
Yeah?
Can you peek at my computer? It's doing something weird. I don't know what's
Sure.
going on.
Just a second.
Sorry to sidetrack. It's just
That's okay.
it's
Take a quick
acting
look.
very oddly.
Probably pulled up your porn torrents again.
Yeah, probably so. Just don't look at it.
You are, well, yeah, Brave spit out a bunch of gibberish, helping you out as usual. And oh, yeah, that's weird. I think I understand why that happened, but it shouldn't happen again. Okay, you're back in the chat prompt and it's clear.
Sorry, I'm not sure what happened.
No, it's a leftover artifact from me tinkering with Brave settings earlier. I had a string of gibberish text copy pasted onto your clipboard, and I think you accidentally pasted it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Computers are dumb. Nobody should use
Talent.
them. So back to our computery D&D. You guys approach into the scrap heap area of the caves here, and you see the little droids floating around. They turn and look at you. As you approach the door ahead in the rock face of the side of the cave here, just slides into the wall. You see a glowing area. And from behind you in the tunnel, you hear a fembot greet you in their lovely, beautiful voice.
Needs improvement.
She says, "Binox will see you now."
Thank you, Secretary.
I am not secretary.
Assistant. Sorry.
I am not assistant. My official title is Kung Fu Space Witch.
Kneel and face the wall, lover.
Nah, not so.
Okay. She leads you into the chambers, past the strange machinery, past the steam room, which is actually not on right now, so we'll turn off the steam effect. The door opens to her left, and she leads you down another long hall. Of course, some of you remember being walking/carried out of this area until you reach the med lab, you would tend to call it. Those of you that speak Androphan, the Androphan would call it a med lab. It's where Binox committed various non-consensual atrocities on Tokala's person. There's a lot of machinery and sensors going on in here, and you see Binox sort of scoot over to you on its 4 insect-like legs with very tiny little sharp wheels at the bottom. And its upper torso rotates around slowly and smoothly to face you. Greetings, guests.
Where I be with you.
You We've come to complete our deal.
Yes. Wanted to make sure that it was still an agreed upon thing, and brought proof that we do have what we promised, and I had Takala hold up the claw of the one.
Dominion.
Didn't-
Netalgu. He identifies and he kind of skates over and picks up the claw. You see one of his eyes sort of glow with a strange orange light, and it changes from a glow to like a thin blade of light, which he passes slowly over the claw, turning it in his clawed arms as he does, scanning every side of it. Superior construction.
You didn't say anything about alive or dead, so we brought him dead. Is that agreeable?
Shh. He switches from like an orange light to a number of other things, and you see several. They look like cameras zooming in or zooming out or changing focus on his head. You guys aren't really sure what's happening there, but he looks very hard at the claw and he says, "Not deceased. Excellent."
Well, what do you mean not deceased? They're definitely
Diseased.
dead. Oh, diseased. Okay, pardon.
No, he said deceased. He said the Androphan word. It says it's not dead.
Huh?
Well, how is it not dead?
It says living tissue. Dominion cells are very resilient.
Anyways,
Great.
so 4 of those and we're done, right?
How many do you have?
We have 4 for you.
But how many do you have?
4 for you.
This linguistic choice implies there are more.
Yeah, but you're not getting them because somebody else wants them.
Who?
Not part of our deal. So we bring you the 4. Our deal is done, and you deactivate the tracker that's on Takala. Because yes, I found that. I know it's there. I want it off permanently.
But how will you find him?
I don't need to. I travel with him.
Also, I'm very loud.
That too.
Namcath in sign language, I'll ask you, we don't have a deal for Morley or someone else, do we?
In back, Tokalu wanted some for his new armor. That's why that's why we took them all, even though we only needed the 4.
Right, gotcha, okay.
Now, if it wasn't for a robot, if it wasn't for the fact that this surgeon is a robot, Namkath definitely would have said, "Can I get one of them to try and do some upgrades myself?" But
Gotcha, okay.
but it's a damn robot doing it, so he won't trust him, unfortunately.
He says, "I will barter for more."
Has Takala picked up the sign language? I can't remember.
Yes?
Okay. Keeping the motions more obvious for him.
Oh wow.
Basically, Namkath says to Takala, "Your call if you want to bargain."
He'll just do a quick no.
No deal. They're already spoken for.
Shame. Well, bring me your specimens. We will conclude our business.
All right. Just wanted to make sure we were good before we did this.
Of course.
Aside in sign language, we don't want to hear what he might be able to bargain for?
Takala's call. He's the one who wanted him. And he's a damn robot. I don't trust him. He'll probably whatever he offers probably isn't worth what we can get for those things.
Okay.
Yes, I am biased against robots, so.
I'm picking up on that a little bit, yeah.
I mean, you do remember he cut me open and just started putting crap in there, right?
I mean, but you're better for it, are you not?
He spits on the ground at Ulbrin's feet.
It's cool shit, and if it was anybody, and this is in the sign language, by the way, it's cool shit, and if it was anything other than a robot, I would consider bargaining for it, but I don't trust him. So come on, let's get this done and get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
So we go back and we haul 4 corpses out to the edge of the cave, and we'll let the android ladies haul them the rest of the way.
Ulfred, do you not have the sign language?
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay, so did you want to say anything, or? See, you said you made sad dwarf noises.
No, I was just saying that I could have been the one he experimented on. Being sad.
I think if you offered, he would just accept it.
I mean,
Plus, we
For
have
what-
some spare cybernetics laying around.
we do have some spare cybernetics. We do
That makes
have,
sense.
you know,
Free.
whether or not Tokala would be willing to give up one of those corpses for some of it is another thing. Like I said, Namcav is interested in this shit. He doesn't trust a robot to install it. It's the only reason why he hasn't asked to try and do some bargaining on this.
I have no problems over it if you want to.
Yeah, so speak up in character, man.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like 3/4 paying attention.
Yeah, you're
You're good,
studying.
bud.
You're studying for an exam, right? That's fine.
Writing a paper.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
laugh if your
just
paper
Just
has
remember
some
to put sad
subconscious.
dwarf. Yeah, just remember to put sad dwarf noises in the paper.
In the paper,
I
yeah,
did.
somewhere's in the paper.
I was gonna say if you
Yeah.
subconsciously type out some Tokala shit into your paper, that's gonna be.
But what about the dwarves? You said that I'm quite the superior specimen myself, and I would I don't know. If you want to do what you did to call on me or something, maybe. I don't know. We kind of like tools of stump. I think me
Ye-
goddess would like that.
The scanner turns and passes slowly on Ulfred, and Binox says, "Superior bone density, muscle fiber, class A, or a strong frame."
Whoa, you're gonna trust a robot to slice you open?
Why not? Me goddess loves them.
It's your choice. I wouldn't trust it, even though I'm interested in that shit.
I don't endorse it, but I have to admit, I feel stronger than I've ever felt. My eyes see clearer.
I have a feeling that Bri would will me to do this.
All right, so
This-
back to the sign language. Tokala, are you willing to give up one of the corpses for Ulfred?
Of course, it's Ulfred. How could I not?
I'm just
He
making
rarely
sure.
asks for anything from us.
I'm just making sure before we start this bargaining.
And he's carrying a lot of shit around.
Alfred, I think
Alright.
you know how I feel, Alfred. Just leave it at that. And then she'll just kind of walk away pissing you.
Hell yeah.
Actually, so actually, come to think of it, so we had. No, okay, so yeah, we had the 4 big ones and 3 of the little ones. All we have left is the 3 little ones. Once we give him the 4 big ones, right?
Yeah, you're gonna give him the Ford Nithalgu.
Well, I
don't-
mean, I assume that.
I don't think he even
I-
knows that you have the Lunarmas, the iron spiky flying crab.
Well,
things.
he mentioned he wanted the ones like the one in the front.
Yeah,
so I had
that's a
to
Nithalgu.
assume that we have to assume that's the only thing he would take to fulfill the bargain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was saying.
Well, he accepts those and scans them all, and you see the fembots carry them and secure them. Indeed, he locks the
Yeah.
parts in cages as if they are going to get up and walk around.
All right. So I assume we would have kind of talked about this on the way here, so we'd have a kind of an idea for what for the materials that Tokala wants to make that new armor. Between the serpent scales and then that stuff and some adamantium and all that sort of stuff, would 2 of the smaller corpses be enough for what he wants to use it for?
Probably. You could do some sort of combined thing with
Well,
the
he's got-
Lunarma and the scales.
Yeah, he's got the scales, he's got that stuff. I just want to make sure we don't shortchange him before we do this.
Well, I mean, you know where there's a lot more sea serpent scales.
Go fishing again, right? All right, so we've talked it over. We've got one more, not one of those big ones like that, but something smaller. I'll go get it and bring it back in, and we'll see what we can bargain with it, all right? Tell him that to Binox.
Acceptable.
All right, so we go fetch one of the smaller ones,
Okay.
and
The fembots help
drag
you carry
in.
it.
Yep.
They see you struggling to lift your
Drag
side of it.
Needs improvement.
I'm built for speed, not strength, all right? Fine, you guys carry it. Mutters and catfolk about
Improve me, fembots.
Oh my god.
Says Ulfred. God. Okay. So I think Krokta is going to storm off in a huff. Suma doesn't seem to care one way or the other, but is definitely not interested in it for herself. Ulfred, you think you would like to have some things installed?
Do you want any of the cybernetics we already have? We have a couple of items already in the. Where is it? To drag myself back so I can see open it back up.
Is it in the paddy wagon?
Yeah.
We got a couple of items. in
I'll
paddy
I'll bring the wagon
already.
in here. I'll put it in
Okay.
the corner of this room here by Asuma. It's coming. Country's taking forever to move it, but here it comes. There you go.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, there. Okay, now it showed up. All right.
Okay, good.
Voice amplifier probably wouldn't do you any good. The echolocator is interesting. But you've got dark vision already, but it does add to your perception and some protection from things. Wirejack tendons would add to your dex. I don't know if that would do you any good.
We see freaking AC already.
And then I thought I saw in here just
Cybernetic
regular-
ears.
yeah, just
And
basic-
eyes.
Yeah.
I thought there were eyes.
Yeah, there they are. Oh, the cybernetic ears. Okay, yeah. That. If you would do that, I would actually. If you want that, I would actually go for the echolocation because it's actually got better bonuses.
Yeah, totally.
Even if you never use the echolocation part, it's got better bonuses.
I mean, I would try for the echolocator and the wirejack tendons, definitely.
Okay.
Okay, so we'd pull those out too, just to show, hey, this is we're adding this to the pile so that
Where did
whatever
we
we-
find those? Anybody remember?
ripped them out of some technically people.
That's the corpses we found.
I think it was in the goo ball.
We've been collecting them. We got quite a lot of it from the dude who died in the gas chamber in the tower.
No, the wirejacks we definitely ripped out of some technically guys here in the valley. And there was something else. I remember you we're like, hey, this guy's got stuff, and Ulfred was like, okay, cool, let me cut him open and we'll pull him out.
That's right.
Can we install some kind of rack onto Ulfred to make it easier to
Oh my
carry
God.
everything.
Shut the fuck
Luggage
up.
rack. He's got luggage rack on his back.
Yes.
Like from what was it? The Death Stranded. That huge. That
Ugh. That game is so stupid.
I haven't
Hiking
even played it,
simulator.
but I've seen the images of the guys like 7, 8 foot tall over his head stack of boxes.
It's a pretty shallow gameplay loop they made a lot of content out of.
Isn't it you just walking?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
And trying to balance a overstacked backpack. It's stupid. And they got Norman Reedus to play a character in it. Like, it's got star power, voice acting, character acting. But
It's got a really twisted and weird backstory and story to it that underlays the walking simulator.
okay. McGinnis is gone this week, so I will allow him to back game if he thinks McGinnis would want anything. Ulfred, you want... What are you offering of the cybernetics that you have on hand?
Well, we have the echolocator and the wirejack tendons.
Okay. You want to have those installed.
Oh yeah.
Plus any other improvements that he's willing to give.
Okay. Well, the vehicle is here, so you can transfer them into your inventory, the ones you want to install. You will have to take off all your armor and all your accoutrements, strip naked, and get on the gurney. And Binox says, "The rest of you are unsterile. You must leave or sterilize."
Believe me, I'm leaving this, and I'm heading out.
I want to be sterilized. I want to keep an eye on Ulfred.
Okay. The fembots show you over to a sink where they wash your hands up to the elbows with some special sort of strange orange foaming soap. Honestly, your hands and arms have not felt this clean in months. And they actually look at you and realize that your hands and your arms have a really lovely kind of bluish hue to them that was not noticeable before. You just looked kind of dirty. And they just go ahead and clean your head, your face, and your neck too. You hear one of them say, "Oops, I made a clean spot."
Oh well. Okay. I enjoy it.
They clean you up and they set your, crossbow and sword aside, and they put these pale blue scrubs on you and rubber gloves over your hands. They put a mask on your face, and they just kind of dress you up like a surgeon. And anybody else who wants to stick around for this can do the same. Ulfred, they ask you to hop up on the gurney.
I hop.
Okay.
Procta will watch, actually, and if she hears that Ulfred's actually going through with it, she's gonna...
They will ask you to
Just
scrub up.
That's fine. I saw Olbrin getting scrubbed up, right?
Olbrin got scrubbed up, and Binox looks
Yes,
at
it
you, and a couple of his sort of lights and eyes adjust and rotate and scan, and he says, "Divine Caster, you may use a remove disease spell on yourself instead if you wish."
Didn't prep it today. It's alright. Don't want to waste it. Here, let me see the staff. Might be able to do it though. Charges.
Not just scrub, man. That's good.
Yeah, not worth it. When you scrub, sorry, were they like running tech over you to sterilize you, or was it just like a spray?
It's soap and water.
Okay, yeah, I'll just...
And then they dress you in a
Normal.
gown that's, I'm not sure why they do this, but it's definitely going to keep you from, coughing or sneezing or getting any particles on Ulfred while this happens.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go through with it.
Okay. So for surgery observers, we have Ulbrin and Krokta. And I'll assume McGinnis won't want to watch this because he's seen it before and it was traumatizing.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Did not like it. And the Ulfred is put on the gurney and strapped. First he is stripped completely naked. His hair and his beard are tied up with like rubber bands to contain them. And just gonna go past this quickly. I don't want you guys to get excited, but Ulfred is scrubbed head to toe by the fembots.
No.
Needs improvement.
And then he's laid on the gurney, and a mask is put over his face, which starts pumping a kind of sweet-smelling green gas into your face, and you feel really happy. You feel really warm head to toe, and you feel very sleepy suddenly, and you feel like you're just floating away on a cloud. And to Krokta and Ulbrin, Ulfred starts just giggling and staring at the ceiling, and he farts once or twice and giggles at that even harder, and then falls immediately asleep.
I believe this is the time where Eldrin would enter his mind.
Would do what?
Would enter his mind.
Yeah, now's my chance. Let's see. Binox is he's going to take his time. So that's a 31 heal check.
Marta's just watching it like as she's disgusted and hates it, but very curious, like from a standpoint of how is this guy actually dissecting this creature and interacting with like the natural machinery of Ulfred. What exactly is he doing? Just trying to really observe and understand like how they're modifying his like natural form.
Krokta, you are generally opposed to technology. You feel like it just goes way too far in a hurry. And so that part of it, you're sort of expecting to be appalled. And what you witness is very different. It is very alien. It is very technology dependent. As they sedate him and they open up his chest, his neck. At one point, he's turned on his side and his back is partially cut open. You see ribs. You see them. Actually, the fembots are very dexterous and very gentle. They are excellent surgeon's assistants. And Binox is absolutely precise and knows exactly what he's doing. It's ultra efficient. It reminds you once of when you were a child and you watched the tribal elder perform sort of a magical surgery on a young Kasath warrior who had fallen and broken his back. And they debated between killing him to put him out of his misery, but they brought him before the tribal elder, and she somewhat brutally straightened his back, and he screamed in pain and filled his body with magical energy and used all of her druid and shaman expertise to just somewhat violently force his body back into the proper shape. It was very painful for the young man, but she healed him fully. And he walked and went on for the rest of his life, probably being a little more careful. And you're sort of reminded of that, although honestly, Binox and the fembots are a little nicer. They put him out with some sort of laughing drug, and he's not feeling a thing.
Have they put in the extra equipment yet?
Yeah, they are
Just
doing
taking him apart.
something around the base of his neck. You think, do you have heal skill? Are you any good at heal?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll it for me. Yeah, you can tell that they are tying into his spinal cord in some fashion. There's something they're attaching to the vertebra of his neck. You can tell that they have cut open, like, right by his lymph nodes underneath his ears, and you see them put in what the party was referring to as echolocators underneath the sides of his jaw, right between his jaw and his ear. And they are, looks like, adding these strange yellowish, they look like metal but they bend like cloth, strips to his major tendons. You see him reinforce his Achilles tendon all the way down the back of his leg, and uh, put in some sort of supports or things for them to attach to at the ankle, the knee, the hip. And they do this for the lower back. Most of his vertebrae have some small little device clamped onto them connected to this system. It's pretty elaborate, but it's a hyper advanced robot surgeon doing it, so Binox is unbelievably efficient about it. And
Say the Holgren. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was just saying, Holgren, what do you think of this?
I've honestly never seen anything like this. It's interesting at a knowledge standpoint. I don't quite understand the technology part. That's not my expertise. It's magic, of course, but it's curious. What do you think?
They obviously have a masterful understanding of the body to be able to manipulate it like this. I do worry for Alfred.
He's a big dwarf. He knows what he's doing, what he wants, what Stratos wants.
We'll see.
And let's see. You hear Binox stop and sort of scan and look at it's connected to all these different sensors. There's 100 sensors stuck to him or plugged into him in various places. And you hear it call for parts occasionally, and the fembots bring him whatever he needs. He calls for strange tools and implements, and they bring him things. And you see him start to close Ulfred back up. And that part really does look like an incredible miracle, because you have probably had to sew people back up with stitches or splints on broken limbs, a number of other things. And Binox puts him back together so perfectly there you can't even tell that anything was really done to him. When the muscles are put back in place, they mostly cover up the cybernetics. When the skin is closed, there is no scar. The line just disappears under some strange tool built into Binox's arm. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And it looks like he completes, and they monitor vitals for a couple of minutes, and they switch the chemical that they're pumping into his body, and it appears that they are slowly waking him back up. And Binox says, complete.
Successful?
Great improvement. Okay. The rest of you are allowed back in. A naked Alfred is semi-coherent, slowly waking back up on the gurney. Olbrin and Kroktar are here in their scrubs, and the fembots are putting away tools, cleaning things, and resuming their former posts.
I had the most wonderful dream. I was in a world full of gears. Everything was oiled. Everything was as it should be.
I think you're still on whatever they did to you, Alfred. Let's get you out of here.
Oh, very well.
In sign language to Namgat, what do you think? Do you think the bots and Binox would be interested in joining us in our quest against the these hell-based bad guys? I can't remember the name. Top man, sorry, Toby.
What's that? Oh yeah, there's a little background noise.
What is the name of the people we're going to fight?
Technic League.
No, the other ones, the ones we just killed.
The Dominion.
Dominion, yes, thank you. To Namcath in sign language, do you think Binox and the Finbots would be interested in joining us in our quest against the?
No, and I wouldn't trust him anyways.
Come on, look what they did at Alfred. It looks great.
No. Let's just get out of here.
You guys should really try this. It really is pretty great.
I don't trust him. No.
You guys notice that when Ulfred gets off the gurney, he jumps off and lands on the balls of his feet. Doesn't make much of a thump.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Ulfred,
Let's
you
get
feel really different movement-wise. You still feel like your weight and your general strength are the same, but you feel much more sure-footed. And you can sort of sense that there's sort of a muscle you could tense or a thought you could focus on that would engage the echolocators. You know that they make a lot of noise. You studied them before they were installed in you. So they make a big audible pulsing sound. But you can also sense their effect on you already. Everything in the room is louder than before, but not too loud. It's like your ears are compressing the sounds in the area and suppressing sounds you don't need to hear and focusing on sounds you do need to hear. Like everyone's footsteps and body movements are exaggerated, so you feel like you could close your eyes and just know where everyone was in the room. A tiny footstep, or if someone turns their shoe on the floor, someone scratches the side of their face, you're just hearing all of this stuff that you wouldn't have noticed before.
So much wonder in the world. How did I not see this all before? I feel like I've opened my eyes for the first time.
All right, come on. Let's get you out of here.
Where I be with you, you beautiful robots.
You can roll me a knowledge engineering check for him. Alfred needed glasses. You are, as you're walking out of here and you put all your gear on, you actually roll me your craft skill. That's even more appropriate. We need that too. You're sort of figuring out how everything feels, what's different, what's changed. Your armor, you didn't really notice, and even Olbrin and Crocta didn't appear to notice, but Binox had all of your gear stripped and piled next to you, and your armor has been cleaned and sort of tightened up in certain places. They even modified the joints a little bit. And these guys were so engrossed in watching you be ripped apart and put back together they didn't notice, but it's just been ever so slightly modified.
it's lost its squeak, but it does feel smoother.
Yeah, you pick up one leg and extend the spikes. They're there. They go back in the way you expect them to. And you flex your knee as you do that. And you notice the back of your calf on the armor plates flips open when you do it. And for a second, your leg shakes like you've got a tremor or something. You feel like your whole leg is going to shake apart. You back off of it because it feels strange.
Well, that's new.
What you got?
All right.
I don't know. This thing on my calf popped up and started shaking. I shrug. Well, you win some, you lose some. You know how it is.
Hold on. Before we get out of here, let's make sure they didn't do something stupid with you. Oh, all right. Go ahead and do whatever you did to try and pop that open, and let me take a look at it here.
You guys going to go outside first? Oh, natural one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely wouldn't do it around
Okay.
Binox.
Grab the AFKs. Grab a zoom in McGinnis. Okay. You guys head outside. You head out of Binox's complex, back out into the scrap heap caves, and back to the entrance of this whole area, back to the Scarecrow Dominion carcass. And if anybody else wants to just be flung out there, I'll just fling you over. There you go.
Yeah, go ahead and fling me.
Fling Crocta, and fling Nomcath. Out you go. Oops, I think I just dropped Nomcath in a wall. Nope, you're good.
I'm good.
Okay. Takala is doing all the hard work of moving his token the entire way himself. What a soldier.
As per usual.
Oh. So you guys are outside.
Try an engineering roll to figure out what the heck that plate popping open means and everything.
You, well, even with your natural one, you're able to see that the back plate of his armor was one piece. Somehow Binox did this so quickly you didn't even notice, but it's been cut down the center with such a clean cut and a tongue and groove edge to it. This is the thing the dwarves do with stonework, so that when the two pieces come together, there's no seam. It looks like he has his normal, leg greaves on, which have a back plate on the calf. Okay, so if he gets shot in the back of the leg, it protects him. But they now open.
Okay, but why do they open? That's what I want to know.
I have a thing in my inventory that can answer it. I don't know if I can press it though.
Yeah, you can. Ulfred launches about 15 feet across the forest here, and you can make an acrobatics check.
Rocket dwarf.
He
That's-
falls flat on his face.
I start laughing hysterically. This is wonderful.
All right, that was definitely not what I was expecting. Might have to give you a few lessons about landing on your feet, and no cat jokes.
You noticed that the back panels of his legs flew open, like flung open. You heard them. And then there was this right out of the back of his calf somehow, a concentrated blast of what would look like white smoke, but it's actually just water vapor from a projected or a release of super concentrated something. Air, sounded like. And it launched him into the air. This allows him, once he gets the hang of it, to gain a plus 30 enhancement bonus to athletics/acrobatics for the purposes of making a jump. If he has a fly spell on him and he uses these, he gets plus 30 foot of flight movement that turn. If he activates them while attempting a melee attack on Bull Rush, he gets plus 2. If he activates them to escape a grapple, he gets plus 5. And they don't provide any stabilization, steering, or sustained life, so they're not that great for flying, but they give you that short little push. And their charges per day are based on, I think, his con stat. He only has 1 because he just had them installed. But after resting and a little practice, he'll be able to use them multiple times per day.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's
Nice.
pretty interesting. That'll help you get around the help you get around in a fight more, definitely.
Nomcath, you'll also notice that he now has a data jack on the back of his neck, just like Takala.
Looks like you got an upgrade on the back of your neck too. So
You should check him for a tracker.
Yeah.
all right,
It was in his brain, right? When you went,
yeah.
or so to speak.
And did Binox deactivate Tokawa tracker?
He was
So that's
supposed
true.
to.
Confirm that.
Let's you want to do it here, or you want to get a little way away from here first before we kind of do that sort of thing?
Probably should get away.
I mean,
Safer.
if he did take it out, then we need to double check here so he can.
True.
All right. I'll check Takala first since I know exactly where to look for it, and then after that I'll do I'll check with Ulfred to see if there's a tracker on him too.
Okay. So we want to look in Tokala's brain?
Yeah.
Okay. And are we doing it right outside the cave, or are we going somewhere else?
I'm just gonna be a quick look right outside the cave just to see if he's still got that tracker going.
Okay. You plug in and look in Tokala's brain.
Maybe I stand watch
Okay.
while they're in there.
Okay.
Where was the tracker last time?
It's in here. Let's see, where is it?
Wait a sec. He's got brain in the jar in his brain.
Well, because last time we connected them to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not actually, the brain's not actually hooked up this time. But yeah, the tracker apparatus is over here, connected to some primary channel of his.
I'll head over there and make sure it is deactivated.
It is activated, but you can roll knowledge engineering while you're here. Takala, you don't have any knowledge engineering at all, do you?
No,
Oh,
but I will
damn.
make
Fucking
inaccurate
back
suggestions.
ones.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's all me sitting here like saying things in his ears like, no, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
Nomcath, you can't turn it off, but you get the sense that Tokala could turn it off if he knew how to.
How's it represented in here? Like a light or?
It's just sort of this panel here with this strange blue speaker looking thing, transmitter looking thing, and it currently is on. And again, with your total of 15 knowledge engineering, you're not exactly sure how it works. The only thing you know is that, like all of the systems in here, it's connected to Tokala.
Yeah.
He can probably switch it off if he wants to.
All right, Takala, let's try this. Okay, you see this panel right here? See how it's kind of glowing a little bit? I want you to think really hard. I want you to manage the glow kind of fading out and going away. Kind of think of like a sunset.
He's trying to meditate it away.
Roll your unskilled, untrained, unmitigated
Knowledge.
knowledge engineering.
Watch him roll a 20.
5.
Roll a 5. Hey, he's got a +1 in it.
I think that's a negative.
No, it's a plus.
Plus? Okay. Well, look at that.
You notice that it has begun glowing and pulsing and beeping more loudly. He appears to have activated some part of it.
No. The opposite of that. We want to turn that off.
He tries to harder.
Nope, there was just the one thing you managed to do there, and that was
Yep.
it. You've
Yep.
you've activated it. Namkath. Well, you're in the VR helmet. The rest of you see 3 fembots come trotting out the front of the cave. And they see you guys sitting here by the vehicle, and they say, "Are you in distress?"
No. Just,
Nope. We're good. We're just double checking that Binoc kept his promise. Doesn't
But
quite
you
seem so.
sent a distress signal. Why would you do
no.
that?
Who sent?
Who
You
sent
did.
what?
They point
Because-
at the orc on the ground with the wire coming out of his head into the helmet of the Catman, who is comatose, half unconscious in the VR. And they point and they say, "He sent us the distress signal."
What do you mean distress signal? Why? You mean he can still communicate with you? Why would that be? That doesn't make any sense.
They look at each other and look around. They look at the sky. They look at the trees. They holster their pistols they were holding.
Needs improvement.
They walk back inside.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Namkath, he doesn't quite understand how to shut it off.
All right, we'll try it again later, but I think it's something we can control ourselves. We'll just have to work on it at camp or something. All right, let me check Ulfrid real quick.
Whenever you,
You might
do,
want to sit down,
Jack,
Ulfrid. It kind of feels weird doing this the first time.
before you get into Ulfrid, I would say, Nomkath, while you guys were comatose there, the Binox's fembots came out and said you sent a distress signal.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, I
Seems
think
like
Tokala
they didn't
can.
take it out.
Well, he didn't take it out. I didn't think he would take it out. I thought he would deactivate it. And I think what it is now is it's under, theoretically, Tokala's control. It's a matter of teaching him how to control it. And I guess in what we tried to do, we sent some sort of help us signal, I guess. I don't know.
If Tokala wants, he can bring down a bunch of robots to our vicinity by communicating with this tech overlord of sorts. Great.
I don't know. I don't. He may have only responded because we were right here in front. You know, if we're down in the Dominion space, well, first of all, we don't even know if it reaches that far, and second, I don't know if he'll go or they'll go that far.
Well, see if Wolford has it too.
Yeah. All right.
Told you guys.
I don't like that.
I
part
tried to
myself.
cast calm emotions on Gorgon.
Tell her to calm her own emotions.
This is right. Just calm down.
Press the spot in the back of the neck. There should be calm emotion buttons right here. All right, I will plug into Ulfrid just for a quick check to see if he also has a tracking.
You should have taken option A.
Okay.
You're still targeting spiders with that thing. Look at that. Look at all those targets.
Yeah, I got the whole.
You got everybody.
It's a huge area. Yeah.
Damn.
It's a huge area.
Calm nations.
Calm entire nations. That's right. Okay, I don't have a specific map for Ulfred's brain yet, but we will have one. We will have one. That's for sure.
It's fine. I'm only planning to do a quick look right now for see if there's a tracking device in him too.
There is, and you can see it's right here next to you, and it is currently in the off position as Tokala's was when you found him.
All right, we're not gonna mess with it here. As long as it's in the off position, we'll let Ulfred get a chance to get used to it and kind of integrate into things, because that's obviously what happened with Tokala the first time. And I'll work with him like I did with Tokala to get him kind of integrated with things, and then we'll try and make sure he gets that under control.
Okay.
So yeah, he's got it too, but it's off right now. We'll mess with it later.
So he's not tracking us through
Well,
Ulfred.
not
Not yet.
tracking Ulfred. I don't know if Tokala is still kind of going off.
Unless our half cyborg, half robot, whatever companions decide they want to be tracked by all the robots, then we're tracked.
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Okay. Where are we headed? You guys rolled in after resting, so you got here in the mid-morning. You just went through like 5 hours of incredibly advanced outpatient surgery. So it's into the evening hours, but you want to go 3 or 4 hexes in a direction before you quit?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to be. I don't want to be near Binox's lair.
Okay. Move you back over to the west. And you guys can set camp in the forest like normal.
All right. So we're kind of back to where we were a couple of days ago. Do we just want to go ahead and get on with the Dominion, or do we want to take a hop to Torch?
Let's go to the Dominion.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way myself. I don't want to really drag things out too much more. I think we're real close to what we're here for.
Let's do it.
All right, so tomorrow should just see us back at our little bolt hole camp. Then what? By the end of the next day, we think we could be at the Dominion Cave?
Yep.
Well, the only thing that's got me worried is we're gonna have more of this trouble with this brain thing, Garthon.
Well, we never did discuss much more detail, you and I, Ulfred. If you want to
My
have
plan
a
is.
council of the leadership, I would be happy to talk to you about it.
My plan is.
Olbrin.
Concentrate on the Dominion
She says
stuff.
Olbrin again while Nomcat starts talking.
God damn it.
I'll talk with Olbrin about this. Sorry, Nomcat. I feel like
I get it's the character. I'm definitely not upset with you.
Yeah, okay, cool. I take your silence as consent, Olbrin, and yes, let's destroy the brain.
No, not destroy the brain. We're gonna have you more trouble. You're gonna be sneaking into packs as a squirrel or some crazy crap. You gotta switch watches, and you keep an eye on you. Disturbing sleep patterns while we're going into disturbing sleep patterns while we're getting ready to go into this big battle. We need a rest. We need to be prepared. We don't need distractions and be second guessing the guy who's got it back.
No, yeah, that's fine. I'm not gonna sneak in by any means, no. But would like to figure out I don't know. I mean, as long as we get to this Dominion thing quickly, get through there and put this thing out of its misery. You all are going the wrong direction with this, but what can I do at this point? I've tried to convince everyone, tried to lead by example. No one cares. So
It's
is
not that
what
we
it is.
don't. It's not that we don't care. I want you to understand. It's not that we don't care. We just realize the great danger of it. And so does your Kasathan sister.
Yeah, well, she's seemed to have been corrupted a bit herself, unfortunately. But
Corrupted, or has she gained wisdom that you don't yet have?
no, I don't think so. I have all the wisdom I need from my ancestors. But
I mean, you lost a little wisdom to that suit, so
that's true. Does that heal overnight, Ashley?
Yeah, by now it's almost gone. You took
Yeah,
2 points
I'm
of
good
wisdom
now.
damage,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
You're
It was
literally
some-
less wise for a day and a half.
I'm honestly not trying to be contentious. I fully understand your point of view and your desires, and you're trying to communicate that. But I don't want to be second guessing the person who's got my six in the middle of a big battle. So I just want to have this out and communicate well before we get farther down the road.
Alright. No, understood. I won't. Not gonna attack it now, but if I see you guys, I might push for it again at some point. If I see the party is not going in the right direction, I do worry about this. Everyone seems enamored with all this technology, and I also see this decline in what I consider to be the right way. So I understand I can be patient for a bit, but I am not sold on it completely, and we'll bring it up, not to the detriment of us right now, but I will let it go for the time being.
Thank you.
And
I understand your point of view.
Yeah, and I'm not the only. I see you as an equal, Oberyn. Ulfred, honestly, I'm a bit disappointed in him today, but you, still untouched by tech. I may disagree with you, but you're a powerful shaman of this tribe. I came in as an outsider, so I will follow your lead on this respectfully for the time being.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, and I'm not happy with these. As someone who's been enslaved both in my own original society and by others, I understand your point of view. It doesn't sit well with me, but I also understand that we have a large enemy that we're coming up against. And we don't need to be fighting fronts among ourselves and against our enemies. That's all I'm concerned about.
Yes, understood. Got to keep the tribe cohesive and strong in times of danger.
Exactly.
Okay. Anything else that night?
I'd like to go.
What is our approach to the destination?
Honestly, probably. Well, no, we'd have to come down through anyways. I think overall, I think it'd probably be better to kind of pull a hook here and then cross on this narrower spot down here.
Okay.
So it'd be easier to cross. And then that'll put us pretty much on line for the. So we'll probably end up, if it took us a day to get from here, we'll probably end up like about here in camp. And then next day may get us pretty close to the hive before. Actually, what we may do, maybe best thing to do is, maybe camp a little early today and then a little early tomorrow right here. And that'll give us just the straight shot here, and we should be able to get it we should be able to get there while it's daylight at least, right?
If you push today, you can reach your formerly haunted site.
Yeah, but then there'd be 2 crossings, and I think it'd be slower, wouldn't it? Than
It does
coming.
slow you down. I mean, you can. Asuma says based on having this thing, which she never expected to have. As long as you're on this side of the river, you can get from here to the Dominion Hive by like the afternoon, not even evening.
Okay. That's kind of my point. As I want to stay on this side of the line, and then in the morning make the push straight to the hive. So
She
we have
says there is some concern that their outer sentries will certainly hear this thing coming through the valley.
time.
They may see it. And if we pass within range of any of the Nethalgu, if they are out in the valley, I can tell you that their spells, whatever their mental attack technique is, it will pass through the walls of this vehicle. They will just drop confusion spells on us while we're in here.
So here's my thought on it though. We can take that thing and get basically to the main Dominion territory in less than a day and still have time to either stop somewhere nearby and then close the distance and scout, or do whatever we're going to do and basically have it all done in one day.
Also,
If we don't,
it's a car, and you have 2 people who can drive it now, so you can drive in shifts and everyone can just show up rested.
Yeah.
As long as you have energy for it. Like currently, you guys driving back and forth across the Vale, you had 300 charges in it, and now you have about 270.
Yeah. My thought is if we don't use this, then how many days of us being in Dominion territory is it going to take for us to get to where the hive is?
If you camp outside the border or you leave the car outside the border, then you're looking at 1 day's long march in, and then you guys would probably rope trick, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
can
then,
also still. Oh, sorry.
oh, that's true. The Krokta thing. No, you should
Yeah, I
mention
can wind walk everyone into it. Like, we don't have
Okay,
to take the car.
You're right. I did forget that.
Yeah, with self mode.
Yeah, we figured out that especially because the main reason I penalize you guys so much in moving around in this valley is that it's dense forest. None of you are used to living in that. It's really rocky terrain. There's no roads. It's very thick everywhere you go. Krokta's flight method just bypasses all that.
So actually, yeah, that would work better. Only the problem is at the cost of 2 of her higher level spells.
Yeah, I'm okay with that though. She feels like it's doing the group a favor to show you
Okay.
how much better her method is than that tech.
Oh yeah, she gets to be a superior motherfucker. She loves it.
So that would be the most likely for us to get there with the least amount of notice.
Yeah, that too. They won't even. I mean, I would expect them to not notice us. They might, but
Yeah, I was just afraid of doing 2 full days of travel in Dominion territory with them stirred up would make it more likely than for to find us. And I figured, fast and loud would be better than trying to sneak through mental detection.
right. So I would. Let's see. I can take 3. So I won't be able to take Asuma with us because I can only take myself plus 1 creature per 3 levels. Unless Toby, if you let me count my second one, like if I only have to count myself once. So if I cast 2 of them, I can add Asuma in.
What's the spell again?
Windwalk. So it says myself plus 1 creature per 3 levels. So it would be myself plus 2 people. But then if I cast it again, if I could add 3 people,
I see.
I burn 2 of them.
I mean, it should be. Yeah, yourself plus 3 each time. So, yeah, 2 castings
it's
gets the
plus
whole
3?
party.
Oh, we're level 11, I think. But yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. So
Cool.
definitely,
Yeah.
2 castings gets the whole party
Okay.
for 11 hours.
Yeah, so I can fly at 60 miles per hour doing that straight into Dominion territory if we want.
I think the only thing is Windwalk allows them to move. No, Windwalk does everything. Yeah. No, I think 2 castings of that is one of the coolest movement options you guys have. And you have a space truck.
All right.
Let's
So
do it.
yeah, let's do it that way. Because also we can use that to kind of scout around a little bit because we're be almost undetectable, at least visually. And then if we need to, we can decide to rope trick somewhere's in the area and rest and regain the spells before we make our assault, or we decide to go ahead and make the assault. We'll see what it is when we get there.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and park the truck at our hidden base
At your spot.
and camp there. Windwalk in the morning.
Okay. Any other prep you want to do? We'll start this next time, which will be in 2 weeks, because I'm out next week. Any other prep that you want to do? Let me know right now. Also, Ulfred, when you did that acrobatics check, I was like, why isn't it adding? And of course, it did add. You have an inherent -4 acrobatics.
Oh yeah.
Because of the heavy armor.
But with the new dex tendons and the gyroscopes, you have a +2.
Yep, I saw that.
And because of the cybernetics and the way they're integrated with you, next level, acrobatics will become a class skill for you.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Anything before we quit?
No, that's gonna
I
be
don't
pretty
think
much
so.
it.
Okay. Good session. Well, so far his face planting dwarf is accurate. Took a while. He hasn't done a backflip yet.
He'll get there.
He
I
just
believe in him.
I might try the gun now. Now that I have I'm so agile.
you do have +1 to shoot the gun now.
Yep, which means I'm only at a -3.
Hell yeah.
I'm just imagining the fat kid on Hook.
Oh,
The-
God.
He rolls
Jesus.
like a ball.
Yeah.
I can see Alfred doing that.
Oh yeah. Well, now he's gonna freaking launch into people. He's gonna launch into combat. The trick is the problem you're facing now, currently, Alfred, is that you're so unlikely to land on your feet that it's a very risky maneuver for you to launch mid-fight. But if you get better at acrobatics, it might be a combat maneuver for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good session, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yep, 2 weeks.
Sounds good.
See you guys then.
All right,
Later.
see ya.